instructor. And there are many classes on YouTube over the last couple of years that focus on series of movements. So particularly since I'm going on hiatus, as you know, so we'll have our class next Wednesday on the 25th, and then we'll take a month off. And so the question was, well, how do I practice during that month? And the answer is go to YouTube and put in my name and take your pick. But to make it a little easier, if you want to, I'll repeat this at the end too, but if you want to jot these down, just make a note. I have the dates of several classes that teach a consecutive series, if that's what you're looking for. Most of the classes are focused on a concept uh, or a way to manifest a certain area of the Dharma. But some of them really are consecutive movements that have a title, like the morning routine, for instance. So let's see, going most recently would be from this year, February 23rd. And then from 2021, uh, January 18th, February 8th, February 23rd, April 19th, May 17th, June 29th. And there are several going back into 2022. I don't think it's important to list all of these. But if you just scan through the listing, all the videos on YouTube, and just look at the title of the class, it'll tell you if it's for instance, the seven gates. If it's the swimming dragon Qigong, the seven gates, it'll say that as the title of the class. So that's how you can access those. But that's about the past and the future. So about now, in this class, we're going to do the seven movements of the morning routine, which is kind of it kind of encapsulates a lot of what moving Qigong is about. And I think maybe we'll touch into a couple of others. And we have one more class, as I mentioned. So if there's something you would like to do, something you'd like to review, or something go over again, or something you'd like to explore more in depth, let me know at the end of the class today. Just sort of stick around and say, well, hey, can we work on this? And we'll do that next time. Okay? All right. Very good. All right. Well, let's move on. So by beginning with the movement, it draws the attention out of the thinking mind and into awareness of all the sensations that are being enlivened in the body. And now as we come into stillness, by stillness I mean the body just isn't moving. We come into stillness, and we can bring the attention internally into the body. And we can feel the movement in the body, the movement of the breath, the movement of the pulse. And we can sense the weight of the body, the heaviness of the body. And so it might feel heavy, like a bag of water, maybe heavy in a fluid kind of way, because it really is filled with fluid, right? And that's good because that's soft. And then with the in-breath, we want to bring attention to the uprightness. So we have this fluidity, the water element, with the out-breath. And then we have, with the in-breath, we have this uprightness. So it's the earth element of the spine and so on. That's bringing us into alignment internally in the body and with alignment with the center of the earth, and as if there was an axis going from the center of the earth through the body and up into the cosmos. So we're aligned internally with our spine, our bones, and then we're also aligned externally, extending down and extending up. And if you like, um, since you're extending down and up, you can also, with the out breath, extend out in all directions. So breathing the stars as if we're breathing out through all the pores of the skin in all directions. And so we're extending out all around. And then the bowing to the directions is a continuation of that expanded sense of space. Okay, so let's turn to the east. So, and we'll dip the knees, come up. In breath. As we bow, this is an out breath. In breath when we come back up. Out breath. And shift the weight into the left and step around. And same thing again. So bowing to the south. As we fold down, the breath goes out. As we straighten up, breath comes in. Shift, step around, pivot the heel. And then to the west. Shift, step, pivot to the north. In breath, out breath as you go down. In breath when you come up. Out breath, rest, shift, step, pivot. Okay, and then dipping the knees. So eyes follow the hands. Look up, extend, way, way, way up. Way, way up. And now out in all directions. In breath, out breath, bending the knees and the waist, touching the earth. And then as the hands come up again, it's in breath. And then we just notice the sensations in the body. There may be more heat. There may be additional tingling. Maybe a little more rapid heartbeat. So, and then in breath, come up a little, out breath, and then return to standing. And where we may have begun in standing mountain, we complete this in standing position 1, where the palms are facing each other a little bit. And the elbows are just slightly bent. And this is a position of circulating. So our awareness, so from the heart, goes out the arms. We have a lot of awareness in our hands. And so we're sort of creating this synapse. I'm exaggerating here, but there's sort of this synapse between the palms. So we almost feel like we're holding something in our hands. It might even feel like that. Okay, very good. All right, so this is actually a routine, if you think about it that way, is what my teacher Tricia Yu calls the warm-ups, but actually it's not warm-up in the sense that it is the practice. We're not getting ready to do it, we're doing it. So starting at the top of the body, so, and loosening up the neck, shoulders. You want to start the movement of the shoulders kind of small, but you really want to get it big. So we're actually trying to touch the shoulder blades together and back, and then open up the back. So we're really loosening up the tension in the shoulders and the neck. Okay, so I'm going through it like this, but in practice, if you find an area of, let's say you're just doing the head roll, if you find an area that's tight, what you want to do is sort of stretch it a little, stretch it out for about 15 seconds until it lets go. So, what I'm doing here is, doing the movement, but in practice, because your mind is in your body now, you'll find if there's a place where you need to put a little more tension, you'll loosen. Maybe you have a knot in your upper back somewhere. Maybe you slept, wrong or whatever. But in practice, that's that's what we want to do, is loosen up. If you don't really feel anything that's particularly tight, then just go through the movements and loosen the joints. Okay, so we've already started a routine here, really, haven't we? With the standing, the bowing, the directions, that's definitely routine. And now with the loosening up, starting at the top, the head and neck, shoulders moving down. This is a series of movements, isn't it? Okay, and then so moving down to the middle dantian, the heart in the center of the chest, you may want to open your stance a little more and sort of really sit down. This horse stance, if you're a martial artist, sit down a little bit, and this will engage your thigh muscles more. And here, um, the beginning of this movement is Qigong. So we're actually imagining laser beams of light coming from the heart through the arms, out the fingers, and into the body. So we're pointing. Anytime we're pointing, we're directing our attention. So we're directing our attention into the body, okay? And then open. So as if we're opening up the ribs, cage, the lungs, opening up the chest with an in-breath. Out-breath. This can be a big movement if you want, or it can be a more subtle movement. Right now, I just feel like doing big. So big, and then actually sitting down. How fast do you do this? It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it in rhythm with your breath. So I'm doing one move for the in-breath and one move for the out-breath. But you could just as easily do two moves for the in-breath. So that would look or you could make it even slower, very slow. So in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath. So we're not just doing these different moves just to get through them, to get to the next one. You stay with the movement as long as you're benefiting. And you might do this movement for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And maybe you're doing it different speeds, or different depth, that is sitting way down or not. So in a class, it's a little different. You kind of have to follow along. But on your own, you just rely on your own discrimination. Is this benefiting? If it's benefiting, stay with it. This is why I don't that often teach a series of movements, because we think we have to check each one off. And then we're done, and then we've done Qigong. uh, which is true. At the same time, we want to get really in touch with the body and how our movement or how our stillness affects the whole system. Okay, and as I mentioned before, if you're familiar with opening the 7 gates, it's another series of 7, this movement and movements like this, we're opening the 4th gate here, right? But if you're familiar with opening the 7 gates, we're opening all 7. It's as if the body's a pot of peas. There's 7 peas in it, and we're just pointing here, inserting the hands into that seam, and opening up the whole body, front and back. Okay. So this one movement can be explored many, many ways. Now we want to remember too, we want to smile from time to time. And we know there's lots of suffering in the world. There's lots of suffering in our own lives, even maybe in our own bodies. We know this. We're not saying that it doesn't exist. We're saying in the midst of this world, a smile can arise just in this moment. And it gives us a way to be with all the 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows. Okay, let's just do a couple more. And it's a good practice to reduce your movements. Okay, and then before moving on to the next, just pause a moment and just notice and reestablish the verticality. Adjust the body, bring back that visualization, just come back into the posture. Okay, very good. And now moving down. So you can place a hand on the lower dantian below the navel, the other hand behind it, and just rocking the pelvis just to loosen up the hip joint. Very, very important for balance, for posture, and to prevent significant lower back issues just by keeping this flexible. Now, you don't have to use the hands. If you put the hands on there, it just brings more attention to it. You can maybe feel it more. You can actually even push if you want to, but it's not necessary. Okay, and then the next one is circling the hips. This involves more of the body. This involves the thighs, really the whole body. And if you loosen up, I mean, as you circle the hips, it can engage the shoulders. It can engage the whole body, really. And then back the other way. And again, I'm doing this rapidly. You can do this fast or slow. You can do it very slowly, do it with the breath. Just whatever feels right. And again, if you have pain, then reduce the movement. We don't want pain. Okay, we just want flexibility. Okay, when moving down, we'll reestablish our standing. Okay, and particularly that laser beam, that central axis, because that's what's going to keep us balanced. Now, the way that this was taught to me is we would rest the hands as if on a piano or a counter. Bring the attention to the bottoms of the feet, knees, lower legs. Feel the body balanced 50-50, left to right, and even front to back. Whole foot is on the floor. Then we're going to shift to the left, so we're going to just bend that left knee a little. Shift, shift, shift. Now that vertical line is moving till it's right over the foot. And the other heel is going to come off the ground. Okay? And if you just leave the toe on the ground, we're standing on one foot. And when you feel balanced, you can lift the empty foot. And then we're going to replace that, but not put any weight on it. Then we'll slowly shift to that one. Sink. When you're stable, move the other one. And the whole trick here is to not lift that empty foot until you're completely stable. And once you are, if you feel a little tippy, just bend the knee a little bit. Sink down. Now, with age, we lose a lot, don't we? We lose strength, stamina, and so on. We do not have to lose balance. We can actually improve our balance as we age just by practicing with it. A little bit. Doesn't even take much. And if you're a little tippy doing this, do it regularly and you'll get really good at it. Okay. Very good. Good. So we've really we started at the top, we've gone down the whole body. Now we'll go into the 7 movements of the morning routine. So we're going to begin this by focusing on the out breath and dropping our attention down. Okay, so the first move, Earth's fragrance drifts up, sitting down, in breath, up to the level of the heart, out breath. And this movement embodies springtime, Earth's fragrance. This is the ancestral chi of the earth. It drifts up from the earth through the body, up to the heart, and then back down. When it comes up, it enlivens us. When it goes down, it relaxes and cleanses. Move with the breath. It may help to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a couple more. Okay, and then we're just going to touch into standing a moment. Reestablish the vertical. Okay, next one, sunrise on the horizon. So we'll start the same way, but the fingers don't touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make the sun. 1, horizon. 2, sun, and down. In breath. So this is a little more subtle. We're not touching the hands. We're just sort of guiding the energy, the attention. And we're also including, with the horizon, we're including the space around. We're radiating out and then gathering in. So it's a little more expanded than the first movement. Let's do one more. Okay, touch into the posture one more time. Okay, now we're going to elevate our awareness on the vertical column. Okay, so this is parting the clouds. So palms face, elbows face, watch the hands go up. Turn the backs of the hands together, look up, part the clouds, and back down. Eyes follow the hands. When we get to the top, stretch, turn back to back. Now, imagine the hands are way up in the clouds. We part the clouds, and the light of the sun, moon, stars, cosmic light comes down and enters the body at the forehead, fills the body. As the arms come down, we're filling the body all the way through the bottoms of the feet. Okay? So start with an in-breath, then breathe normally. And really, when you're up high, extend, look up, extend your attention. When you've got that, separate the clouds. The light comes down, fills the body as the hands come down. Eyes also come down, looking inward. Way, way, way up. Removing all obstruction. Light comes down. Okay, as we separate, it draws the light down through the whole body, moves through the whole body, out and then down, out the feet, down into the earth. Bring the attention up. Extend. It's a practice of suffusion. We're suffusing the body with this cosmic light. It's not just light, though, it's also consciousness. It's enlivening every cell of the body. Let's do one more. So now we've completed the whole vertical, starting with Earth's fragrance drifting up, sunrise on the horizon, and then parting the clouds. We brought our attention, our intention, our consciousness from the center of the earth all the way up through the body, way up into the cosmos. So it's all unified. Okay, good. So now we come back down. We've been way up there. Okay, we come back down. The next one is washing the body with rainbow dew. And don't be concerned about doing this right. But basically, we'll start with the right hand. And we're going to imagine sort of gathering this rainbow dew and bringing it up over the head and down. And then the opposite. Bring it up, the other hand follows, up over the head and down. It's very simple. So, and we turn a little bit to the direction of the hand that's coming all the way up. So rainbow light in Qigong is healing light, and dew is freshness, youthful energy, vigor. So we're enlivening the body with the energy of spring, really, of the earth. Let's do one more on each side. Now, very good. Now the next one is just, it's a gesture of releasing. So just a natural movement. It's when you come out of the shower and you just do this. And you want to check in with how much you need to do it. So we've gathered a lot of chi, and so we just want to release. Okay, so it can just be just this with the hands, or it can be something big, you know, like this. You just try it out, just see what's good. This is a gesture that's very useful in just in daily life. If you really want to release something, out breath too. Just release it. Okay, so that's preparatory to the next. And this is the really the essence of Qigong, and very, very ancient movement. So we just reestablish the vertical, and we're going to come into standing one. We're going to use our hands to literally to scoop up the life force energy of nature, of the earth. And so we're just going to bend the knees, bend the waist. We're just going to reach down, and we're going to pick something up, something like a watermelon or a basketball, but something that's made of light and maybe in rainbow and dew. We're going to pick up this energy of the earth and bring it to the lower dantian. So on the next out breath, in breath, bring it up. And then we'll stand in the embracing the womb posture. Let the hands expand out with the in-breath a little bit. And we're feeling and imagining this warm, sort of loving light, this substance, this pure consciousness that's in the abdomen. Okay, we'll do this 3 more times. So the next out breath. Now it's brighter. So notice the palms of the hands. And okay, next out breath again. Now it's bigger, brighter. Okay, 4th one. So we're resting the hands on kind of the surface of this sort of spherical presence. And as the belly expands and relaxes, the hands move a little. Very good. Okay, so that's bringing up the ancestral chi into the lower dantian. Now we're going to bring some of that up into the heart. So this is called refining the chi. So dip the knees. So in breath, we bring some of it up to the heart and just hold it there. Okay, it's still in the belly. We'll do this 3 times. Okay, now again. So bringing some of that up into the heart. And this chi, it becomes finer as we bring it up, as it rises. It's like water becoming mist. And then one more time. Okay, so now we have awareness in the middle dantian in the heart, the lower dantian down in the earth. Okay, very good. Now we're going to further refine the chi. We're doing touching heaven, touching earth. Okay, so one hand goes up, one hand goes down. Palms face each other. Extend way, way up, way, way, way down. Extend. And then with an out breath, back to the heart. Okay, and now radiate, horizon. Okay, now opposite hands. Stretch. This is combining heaven and earth. Extend. Now in this one, there are 3 positions, and you can stop moving and just experience any of these, the side to side, and the up and down, or the gathering position, and just hold the posture, and then when you're ready, then you can go into the movement. So, with the with the pointing the hand, the arms, the hand fingers, we're extending our attention beyond the body. Extend, send your consciousness out beyond the body in all directions, if it's left and right. If it's up and down, send your consciousness way, way, way down into the earth, way, way, way up, and all around. And then when it's at the heart, then we're extending into the body, the whole body, and beyond. Okay? Okay, let's just do a couple more. And again, when you're practicing this at home, do this as long as you want. And do it as quickly or as slowly as you want, as long as you feel like it's beneficial. And then we'll finish at the gathering position. And then the final movement of the series is the flying crane. So just move with your breath. Eyes follow the hands. And of course, any variation of the flying cranes is fine. There are many. And then little by little, reduce the movements. And when we stop moving, we're not finished. Now we're practicing in stillness. And the practice here is just to notice. How does the body feel? Go ahead and adjust it if you need to. How's the alignment? And what's the quality of the mind? What's your mood right now? And then finally, dipping the knees, bringing the hands back to the body. Okay, very good. Break your stance if you want. Let's go ahead and do the closing. This is also a series of movements. Let's clap our hands one time. 1, 2, 3. And we want to massage the eye sockets, the temples, the scalp, the ears, the jaws, any of these places, any or all, however you want to. One thing is when you're doing the eye sockets, don't touch the eyeballs. Okay, and then making loose fists, tapping the kidneys. Classical teaching is 49 times. And then massage the kidneys. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your presence, for your practice. You practice not just for yourself, but for all beings. And now, if you would like to exit the Zoom, that's fine. If you'd like to stay for questions and comments, then we'll do that.
Stephen, thank you so much. I need to say goodnight, and thank you for the YouTube information, and I hope to see you next week.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn off the recording.